Yes, dear friends, welcome. Salutations to you. Greetings and wishes and prayers and congratulations. Let us do our everyday's exercise of spending 1 hour in studying and understanding Shastras to put ourselves in the right path for higher successes and evolutions and growths. We are studying Katha Upanishad to become familiar with the presence of such great text. We are studying Valmiki Ramayana to know the dharmas, the rules, the niyamas for successful administrator for being a. We are studying Geetha to know not only path of evolution or liberation, but also how to manage ourselves to succeed outside. We are doing our Vedic chanting as a practice. As a true Sanatana Dharmi, we must know our Vedas, chantings and all, and we do our Sankalpa Prarthana Sanavavatu because we have to tune to God. And every day we are doing our 5 minutes of common sense thought so that sharing our knowledge, wisdom, so that all of us just evolve and help each other and grow. Today's thought is Dekho, Jano ya na jano, mano ya mano, whether you are failing or succeeding in spiritual life or in the worldly life, in whatever the field. That depends on what we do, and all the doings depend on doings or not doings only in one sole factor, that is called as our own mind. Clear? It is a mind which only tells us do good things, tells us to do spiritual things, and tells us do bad things, creates all imaginations, creates sankalpa, creates all the desires, creates all relativities ki ye mera dost hai, ye mera dushman hai. That mind prompts the body senses to act. Actions give the reactions called as results. Keep this first point in mind. From that comes the second point. Therefore, if we can master our mind, if we can rule our mind, if we can command our mind, then we can command our life as we want. Second point should be digested through this analysis. Now, the third one is what? Is his mind also independent? Though it is the active and only instrument for us to do good or bad or not to do. No, it is not independent. This mind also has got two things to propel it continuously. Two possibilities of propelling it has got. One is called our own vasanas, our own tendencies, our own past memories, our own past thought patterns, our own past natures, past ways of life we lived. They all get stored in us as impressions. Mind you, at that level of ignorance, at our level of ignorance, exactly what are there in the vasanas, good or bad, that alone come into the mind. That's how, even when we do good, sometimes that's because of our good vasanas. And many of us have less good and more bad. And the whole world also prompts us in that only. Therefore, more and more, the negative vasanas only come as negative thoughts at the mind level, and as a helpless victim, we execute those plans and fall into the soup. Every one of us do that only. है कि नहीं? इन यू द माइंड द वासना से चलो टीवी देखते हैं, चलो सेल फोन देखते हैं, चलो इंटरनेट देखते हैं. Who is telling this to the mind? Your own vasanas impressions. Every day you are doing it, they are becoming vasanas. And they prompt your mind. चलो दोस्तों के साथ घूमते, चलो होटल जाके खाते. These are suggestions given by mind, but prompted by what? Your vasanas only. And then in involving in them, the main purpose for which we are born as human or we are sent to different places, that thing we forget. Go to the school, college to study, but your vasanas prompt you to do some other nonsenses, then study gayo bhad mein. So to the whole career goes into dogs everywhere. In every relation of yours, how to be with your parents, how to be with your फैमिली मेंबर्स, हाउ टू बी विद नेबर, हर एक चीज का हमको नेगेटिव वासना है तो वही करते. सो वासनास command the mind, mind commands the body and senses to do the action. This is one way every stupid, useless, egoistic fellow, negative fellow lives life like that. But that's not the only way. There's other way of living. What is that? The mind can also be under the command of impact of another beautiful thing called as buddhi, which in general in many of us is lying down, or it just is a slave, like to that vasanas and the mind. Whatever negative things they plan, they come propose how to achieve those negative things. Our buddhi works like the terrorists. In them, the vasanas are filled. Ki how to kill Hindus or Indians. Then with that vasana, their intellect so sharply works only to how to break through all the protecting barriers and go and attack and kill the common simple civil people. उनके वासनाएं अनुसार उनका बुद्धि काम करता है. Vasanas prompt the buddhi for an ignorant fellow, uninformed. Like so many of we unnecessarily served the Britishers and all. मैं तो कहता हूँ इन इंडियन आर्मी ब्रिटिश टाइम मैक्सिमम इंडियन सोल्जर्स ओनली कितने थे बाहर वाले. अरे पिस्तौल घुमा के गधे लोगों को मार दिया तो एक बार हो जाता खत्म. फिनिश कर देना था. इन एम्पायर ऑफ द मुगल्स एंड ऑल हु वर देयर मोस्ट रूल्ड इंडियंस हिंदूज ओनली नो. कोई कुछ 4-5 लोग उल्टा करके कुछ विष पिला दे उनको खत्म हो जाता काम. But there were no people to guide us Hindus, no people to inspire them, no people there for integrating them. The guiding gurus, the guiding shastras, the integrating temples. They were all intelligently destroyed by those Rakshasas. Therefore, we could never become powerful integrated. Same is even now. We may claim to be worth 95 crores, and yet we are helpless victims. Because the powerful leader is not there. If he is there, we only don't support them, and we support the rascals, the Rakshasas, who are bent upon destroying India and Hinduism. Same happens inside us. A weak buddhi also supports vasanas and mind. Then what is the entire human's success and evolution depends on only in empowering the buddhi. Buddhi is empowered only through the knowledge. The knowledge, the correct knowledge, the complete knowledge, the authentic knowledge, the evolutionary helping knowledge. And that is what given in all our Shastras. We have 4 Shastras, Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa. In the Shruti, Smriti, the theoretical knowledge is given. Shruti talks about Paramatma, Smriti talks about all our how we have to live the life. These two theoretical knowledges of Shruti Smriti are practically shown to us through Purana Itihasa. In all Itihasas, let us say Ramayana. What is said? These are Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna. This is Ravanasura, Kumbhakarna, Indrajit. ऐसा जीना है तुम्हारा लोक का कल्याण होगा, ऐसे जीने से तुम्हारा लोक का नाश होगा. So these are the Pandavas, these are Kauravas. They are practical. ऐसे जीना है, जीने से तू खुद को भी, धर्म को भी, देश को भी लाभ होगा. ऐसा जीना है तो तुम्हारा देश का तबाह. पुराणों में this Hiranyakashipu, his own son here is Prahlada. If you live like that, you destroy the world and you get killed later on. Prahlada, you live life like that, you also evolve, you become devotee, you are blessed by God. Because of you, everybody also. So what is said as theory in Shruti Smriti is told to us in the Purana Itihasa as practical examples. So that our intellect is equipped with correct, complete, authentic knowledge as to how if we live. We succeed outside, we make others also succeed. We succeed inside and we guide others also to succeed and evolve inside. Therefore, the only way for us to protect ourselves, to become asset to the world, is making the intellect so much powerful in its knowledge. Okay? Knowledge also listen, think, contemplate, understand, make a conviction. The convictions about the right way of life in the intellect should be so strong and power that they should be able to defeat the negative asanas. Like so many good Indians are there, but they're not powerful enough. There are few negative people powerful are ruling the rules and country, isn't it? Anytime. Here also, not sufficient to have the knowledge, But authentic, complete, convinced, aggressive knowledge we have to have. So that the vasanas, they won't leave us till the last vasana is there. They go on trying to prompt the mind. Every time the vasanas are prompting the mind, intellect should interpret and it should say, अरे ये तो वासना कह रही है मुझे सोने को, बट बुद्धि को जानना चाहिए कि उठकर पढ़ने का टाइम है ये वासना कह रही है टीवी देखने को, बट बुद्धि को पता होना चाहिए इससे थक जाते हैं, टाइम वेस्ट होता है। ये वासना कह रही है मुझे इधर उधर घूमने को, मैं बुद्धि को पता होना चाहिए उससे एनर्जी चली आती। The Vasana tells me to involve in this and that things, the eatables, ye wo. But Buddhi should know ki what should eat for health, what should not be eaten. When the Buddhi is perfect and continuously tokna, it's a continuous struggle between Buddhi and Vasanas. Both of them want to have power over mind. Owning the mind, overpowering the mind, they make body senses execute what they want, and with that, the persons grow in life or they get destroyed. What gurus, what our shastras do is empowering our intellect. Now, this saving thing of the life called as empowering our intellect through the shastra dhanam, this is the first and foremost thing we are not learning. And instead of that, we are learning only those things through various media and interactions and all, which create only negative asanas in the mind, in the chitta. अब वही आएंगे मन में बार बार, then that is what you execute, and the life becomes so much, lived with the integration between the vasanas, mind, and actions and results, that there is something called as noble life, there is something called as righteous life, there is something called as value oriented life, there is something called as self controlled life, there is something called as disciplined life, value oriented life, or the devotional life or spiritual life. ये सारा get selected and deleted only. लाइक कभी वायरस होता है अपने कंप्यूटर में, फोल्डर फोल्डर ही उखड़ जाता है, यू कांट इवन रिट्रेस इट बैक, गयो. सेम वे our virus called as our negative lifestyle has selected and deleted the entire aspect of the noble life which our shastras are saying. That's why what do you do? An ideal youngster, ideal means a youth, example youngster, throughout the day what are you doing? सुबह उठकर let us say early morning 8:30 you got up, ज़्यादा बोल दिया क्या, चलो 9:30, and very early you sleep at night, let us say 2 o'clock, like a ullu. Now, in these 16 to 18 hours, what is the life lived by us? One day you dekh lo. How much of dharma we think about and consciously do for our parents or the house or the office? How much of the seva we do to country, world or the people? How much we remember the God, how much we visited our Guru, how much we heard the satsang, how much we did our japa upasana, how much of contemplation we have done. Are these all not the ones which purify, divinize, and integrate and strengthen your faculties? वो कहीं ही नहीं रहे. And what are you doing? Lavishly only those things by which time wasted, energy wasted, opportunities gone away, and vasanas become strengthened, and lot of crimes, criminalities we do because of it, because of which we are inserted in the world, definitely a failure and miserable person, और गिरेंगे दृष्टि में सबका, भगवान को भी वो पसंद नहीं होता. Such a beautiful our gurus selflessly guiding us through shastras, shouting at the pitch of their voice, sacrificing their time, life, energy, without any expectation, with full compassion. We, the Bevakoofs, starting from the youth age, do not recognize their contribution, do not acknowledge it, do not use it. So, ignorance, arrogance, negative vasanas, negative habits, and above, over and above all that, the people of misguidance around, and the education system and the government, सब मिलकर अब इतने जगह से तीर लग रहा है हमारे दिल को, फिर हमारे अंदर का अच्छे बंदे का जीवन कैसा रहेगा बताओ. A good hearted person, how can he survive in us when you are hit by so many arrows from around? Think about it. Should we not protect ourselves from all of that and have the shield of protection of Guru and Shastra and Jnanam in our buddhi? सोच लो बेटा. It's not that I'm wasting my time every day 1 hour talking to you and not wasting your time, that I have nothing else to do. I have plenty of things to do for myself, my evolution. Like that, all our acharyas, gurus, out of love and compassion, they want to empower our intellects so much that it is overpowering the vasanas, and this is guiding the mind. And buddhi with shastra jnana guides the mind, body, senses only in doing the correct things of dharma, punya, seva, and our professional goals, and through that also seva and spirituality. Such person, he will definitely evolve. And right now, if the intellect is totally rusted, if the intellect is totally, full of the dust, etc., and absolutely as good as it is not at all there, totally died, unconscious coma में है हमारी बुद्धि, and the vasanas are so aggressive. All the time we Hindus do that only. We make other dushtar fellows aggressive. Cricket में वैसा होता. Even the useless teams like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and they all Nepal, they win over India and they become aggressive. All these countries of Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, they become powerful because they defeat India. Because we become menos before them also. क्रिकेट में ऐसा होता है. पॉलिटिक्स में थर्ड रेट रूलिंग फ्रॉम लास्ट 65 years, पिछले 10 साल से ठीक था. ठीक है, उससे पहले तो such a big population, such a great culture, tradition, intelligent people. Still, why have to bend before Germany, Japan, Pakistan, this America and China? क्या कम है हमारे अंदर? But the policies of government are like that. Intelligence is not allowed to grow with all reservations and nonsenses. Every time we are weak, weak, weak. Outside also. Isn't it terrible things? No support. We people like we, those who want to teach Desha Bhakti, Dharma and Sanatana, बच के रहना पड़ता है in our own country. But no support. We can't talk loudly, we can't teach Sanatan Dharma. क्या है देखो, आउटसाइड जैसा हो रहा है ना, इनसाइड भी वो है. इनसाइड जो होता है आउटसाइड भी वही होता है. Inside we are not educating ourselves in our intellects. Then who will rule? Our vasanas, our last impressions. And in millions of lives we live like pashu. We live like all animals. So उनका काम तो मारो और खाओ और खाने के लिए जीवो. वही हमको टाइम टू प्राप्त करेंगे. Eating, mating, beating and dying one day. But Shastra, then we are told that you are not an isolated individual, you are part of the total. Work for the total outside. Not only you are part of total, you are the total himself. Discover that inside. For that only precious human life. Use it. And this is the way it has to be used. What we are studying in Ramayana and Geetha is only this one. So empower the intellect with the Shastra with the correct authentic knowledge regarding goal and means. Let that guide the mind, senses, body to work in the world so that we definitely succeed inside and outside for ourselves and become an example to others. If that intellect is dull, then your own vasanas, habits, and the outer world, they will misguide us. We will only become destructive for ourselves and the world. Choice अपना है. कहना ही हमारे हाथ में होता है बेटा, चॉइस अपना होता है तुम्हारा. थैंक यू. ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य मोद श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणेतिहासोक्त भगवद् भागवत ऋषिमुनि गुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रह प्राप्ति सनातन धर्म से विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वध्यात्मिक प्रगति शांति कल्याण एकता पुरोभिवृद्धि अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्धानां पूर्णायुरारोग्यैश्वर्य अस्माकं सह क्षेमस्थैर्यधैर्य वीर्यादि शक्ति संपदा सानुकूलता साधनानां प्राप्ति बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुघ्न निर्मूलनेन धर्म संस्थापने दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यक्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालयानां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरंतर साधना सेवा शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञ यागादीनां द्वारा विश्व धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठया विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरे ये शत्रवः तेषां सर्वेषां समूल निर्मूलनार्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां युवानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भक्ति भगवद् भक्ति गुरु भक्ति शास्त्र भक्ति साधना भक्ति सत्संग भक्ति माता पितृभक्ति सेवा भक्ति धर्म भक्ति सनातन धर्म भक्ति देश भक्ति द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम अनेक शास्त्र अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये शांति मंत्र उच्चारणम वेद पठनं तैत्तिरीय ब्राह्मणस्य श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता पंचदशोऽध्यायस्य पारायणमध्ययनं श्रीमद् वाल्मीकि रामायण अयोध्याकाण्ड शततम कच्चित् सर्गे उक्त राजनीति धर्माणाम् अध्ययनं श्री कठोपनिषदः अपि पारायणं स्वल्प अर्थाविष्करणं वयं सर्वे मोक्षार्थं जन्म साफल्यार्थं सनातन धर्मार्थं विश्वकल्याणार्थं भारतवर्षार्थं करिष्यामहे। ओम 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 सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तैत्तिरीय ब्राह्मणम्। ओम श्री 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 वेदमात्रे नमः। ओम अथ श्री कृष्णे यजुर्वेदीय तैत्तिरीय ब्राह्मणं द्वितीयाष्टकं पारायणम् अष्टम प्रपाठकः। अथ एकोनपञ्चाशत्तम मंत्रात् आरभ्य 8 minutes with Shraddha. Listen, just feel grateful to all Rishi Munis who has given us all knowledge through these Vedas. Pray to them that these knowledge is revealed to us and we are convinced by them. Live that noble life well guided and evolve for ourselves and the world. Om Vasuni tatanastu vishwan pavrutyam pavartighृतेन विशूचि श्रुतन्द्वेच। Om ॐ सूर्यो देवी मुषसगं रोचमानामर्यः न योषामभ्येति पश्चात् यत्रा नरो देवयन्तो युगाने युगाने वितन्वते प्रतिभद्राय भद्रं भद्रा अश्वा हरितः सूर्यस्य चित्रा एदग्वा अनुमाद्यासः नमस्यन्तो दिव आपृष्टमस्तु परिद्या वा पृथिवी यन्ति सद्यः तत्सूर्यस्य देवत्वं तन्महित्वं मध्याकर्तो ऋततगं संजभार यदेदयुक्त हरितः सदस्थात् आद्रात्रि वासस्तनुते सिमस्मै तन्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याभिचक्षे सूर्यो रूपं कृणुतेद्योरुपस्थे अनन्तमस्य दुषदस्य पाजः कृष्णमन्यद्धरितः संभरन्ते अद्या देवा उदिता सूर्यस्य निरगंहस विपृतान्निरवद्यात् तन्नो मित्रो वरुणो मामहन्ताम् अदितिः सिन्धुः पृथिवी उत द्यौः दिवो रुक्म उरुचक्षा उदेति दूरे अर्थस्तरणिर्विराजमानः नूनं जनाः सूर्येण प्रसूताः आयन्नर्थानि दृढवन्नपागंसे शन्नो भवचक्षसा शन्नो अह्नाः शम्भानुनाशकम् इमाश्रुङ्घृणेन यथा शमस्मै शमसद्दुरोणे तत्सूर्यद्रविणं देहि चित्रं चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकम् चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्तुषश्च त्वष्टा ददत्तन्नस्तुरीपं त्वष्टा वीरं पिशङ्गरूपः दशेमन्त्वष्टुर्जनयन्त गर्भम् अतन्द्रासो युवतयो बिभ्रर्तं दिग्मान्निकग्गस्वयश सञ्जनेषु विरोचमानं परिशीर्णयन्ते आविष्ट्यो वर्धते चारुरासु जिह्माना मूर्ध्वस्वयशा उपस्थे उभे त्वष्टुर्बिभ्यतुर्जायमानात् प्रतीचि सिगंहं प्रतिजोषयेते मित्रो जनान् प्रसमित्र अयं मित्रो नमस्य सुषेवः राजासु क्षत्रो अजनिष्टभेदाः तस्य वयगं सुमतौ यज्ञस्य अभिभद्रे सौमनसे स्याम अनमीवास इडया मदन्तः वितङ्मवो परिमन्ना पृथिव्याः आदित्यस्य व्रतमुपक्षन्तः वयं मित्रस्य सुमतौ स्याम मित्रन्न ईगं शिम्या गोषु गव्यवद स्वाधियो विदते अप्स्वजीजनन् हरे जयतागं रोदसी सा च सा गिरा प्रतिप्रियं यजतं जनुषामवः महागम् आदित्यो नमसोपसद्यः यातयज्जनो गृणते सुषेवः तस्मा एतत्पन्यतमयाजुष्टमायजुष्टम् अग्नौ मित्राय हविराजुहोत आभागं रथो रोदसीवद्बधानः हिरण्ययो वृषभिर्व्यात्वश्यैः कृतवर्तनैः प्रविभिरुचानः ईशां वोडानुपतिर्वाजिनीवान् सपप्रधानो अविपञ्चभूम त्रिवन्धुरो मनसा यातु युक्तः विशो येन गच्छतो देवयन्तेः कुत्राचिद्याममश्विना दधान स्वश्वा यशसा यातमर्वाक् दस्रा निधिं मधुमन्तं विवातः विभागं रथो वध्वाया दमानः अन्ता दिन्वो बाधते वर्तनिभ्याम् युवो श्रियं पर्योषा वृणीत सूरो दुहिता परितक्मियायां यद्देवयन्तमवतः शचीभिः परिग्रगं स नामं मनावां वयोगां यो हस्य वागं रतिरावसस्त उप्राह उस्राह रतो युजान पर्याति वर्तिः तेन वश्यं यो रुषसो व्युष्टौ न्यश्विनावहतं यज्ञे अस्मिन् युवं भुज्यु मम विद्धगं समुद्रे उदूहतुरर्नसो अस्रिधानैः पतत्रिभिरश्रमैर्यवतीभिः दगं सनाभिरश्विना प्रारयन्ता अग्निशोमायो अद्यावाम् इदं वचः पर्यते तस्मै दत्तगं सुवीर्यं गवां पोषग्गस्वश्वियं यो अग्निशोम हविषा सपर्यात् देवद्री चामनसायो घृतेन तस्य व्रतगं रक्षतं पातमगं हंसः विषेजनाय महिशर्म यच्छतम् अग्निशोमाय आहुतिं यो वान्दाशाद्धविष्कृतिं सुप्सप्रजया सुवीर्यं विश्वमायुर्व्यश्नवतु अग्निशोमा चेति तद्वीर्यं वाम यदमुष्णीतमवसं पणिङ्गोः अवातिरतं प्रथयस्य शेषः अविन्दतज्योतिरेकं बहुव्यः अग्निशोमा विमगं सुमेऽग्निशोमा हविष प्रस्थितस्य जभारद्यौरग्नेरुपस्थ उपक्षन्तो बद्बधानो यादमानः समुद्रेगं हस्त प्रस्थितस्य ओम शांति थैंक यू भगवद गीता बेटा three purushas kshara and akshara and uttama kshara purushas are all the names and forms of the entire universe of small or big or subtler or grosser all. Then the akshara purusha is the karana of all of them, the prakriti, the maya, trigunatmika. This is clear. There is third one, the uttama purusha, without whom these two cannot be. He alone expresses as them. By rejecting these two, we have to recognize the fourth one, third one as ourself. This is what spiritual journey and destination about. That Uttama Purushas Lakshanas are told in this and next shloka. So too it was said earlier also as Kshetrajna or Gneya or the Purusha or Gunatita. Throughout our all Shastras, the descriptions are about this Uttama Purusha only indicative way. We have to, through that contemplation, reach him. That's called as Tatpada Parimarganam. That's called as Adyam Purusham Brahmati. Tatpada Parimargana means trying to intellectually understand and travel towards Tatpada. Adyam Purusham Prapadya means having completed the travel, becoming one with him. So, Tatpada Parimargana is the river starting in the mountains, moving towards the oceans. The Parimargana of the Tatpada, the ocean. They won't go on moving. At the last moment of reaching the ocean, What happens to the rivers? They merge in the ocean. That's called as Adyam Purusham Prapadde. Why the ocean is the Adya Purusha? Because all rivers are born from oceans only. The oceanic water only becomes clouds and they go and rain. That's what becomes the glaciers. Glaciers वो melt होकर ही rivers आते हैं. In the same way, entire universe has come from Paramatma. Therefore, he is the Adi Purusha. And we have to do the Parimargana of reaching him. In that Parimargana and reaching, finally, Prapadye means we just dissolve in him. Like in Bhakti Prapatti, the individual surrenders so much to the God that God only expresses through him. He doesn't remain as a specified individual like Hanuman. In Vedanta also, I, the individual Jiva, with my upadhis, totally dissolve in the Paramatma. Thereafter, he alone is there even as me. Yeah, that experience comes to me. I remain as individual as long as the body is there. But this individual is no more any isolated individual. Is that Paramatma only expressing through this. And that Paramatma is me actually, and he is there everywhere. So the outer game of multiplicity is going on, but inside the oneness also is experienced. That's called spiritual evolution. Beta, sun lo. Chalo, let us do that again. Both slokas two times, but second sloka completely. 16 and 17. Om Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama Sri Geetha Sharanam Mama Sri Vyasa Sharanam Mama Sri Sadguru Sharanam Mama Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama Sharanam Mama Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha Srimad Bhagavad Gita Atha Panchadashodhyayah Purushottama Yoga Shodasha Saptadasha Shlokau Sri Bhagavanuvacha द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः उत्तम पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः. Again I am repeating fourth time, fourth day. Loke dvau imau purushau. In this whole world there are two Purushas. Why they are called Purusha? Because they can't independently exist without the main Purusha Paramatma. Two Purusha. First, how many Purushas? Two. What are their names? Ksharascha Akshara Eva cha. So Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. So दो Purusha उनका नाम. Now who are they? Ksharaha Sarvani Bhutani. Kshara Purusha is all beings which are born in time in whatever the name, form, shape, etc. Stay and dissolve in time. They are called Bhutani. All of them are Kshara Purusha only. Paramatma's Kshara Rupa expression is all beings with names and forms. And who is Akshara Purusha, sir? If Kshara is Bhutani, Kutastaha Aksharaha Uchyate. That Mula Prakriti, Trigunatmika Prakriti in its balance, is called as Akshara Purusha. From that Akshara only all these Kshara Purushas come. Therefore, he is cause, Akshara Purusha. The Akshara Purusha is effect. In other words, manifest and unmanifest. In other words, effect and the cause. In other words, gross and subtle and causal. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha. बोल दिया ना सर्वाणि भूतानि अक्षरः अक्षरः कूटस्थः. Now there is third one which is to be known to us by us only through the Shastra, only by teaching of Guru. Even that Akshara Purusha है ये भी हमको पता नहीं. We only know the Akshara Purushas. What is that? सर्वाणि भूतानि. अरे ये सारे इफेक्ट है रे बाबा, कोई कॉज से आ रहे. That is cause is called as Akshara Purusha, Kotastha Purusha. Behind these two is the third one. That is called Uttama Purusha or Purushottama, on whose name is this chapter, Purushottama Yoga. And all are there at one place only. It is ignorant drushti which sees only the Akshara Purusha and takes it as ultimate. A little wise drushti recognizes the Akshara Purusha, the cause of this. And there is more wise person through study of Shastra contemplation discovers Uttara Purusha who is support of both of them but untouched by both of them. That is called Paramatma. That is why this sloka number 17 mein half of it is a Uttamaha Purushaha tu Anyaha Parama Atma iti Udahritah Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Mibharti Avyayah Ishwarah. Every sloka is powerful. इसमें परमात्मा का ऑलमोस्ट ट्रांसेंडेंटल एंड एमिनेंट डेफिनेशन आ गया. फर्स्ट देर इज थर्ड पुरुष इज कॉल्ड उत्तम पुरुष. सेकंड इज अदर देन दीस टू अन्यः. Therefore, whatever are there in the Ksharakshara Purusha, they are not there in him. What are there in Ksharakshara Purusha? Akshara Purusha is Karana, Kshara Purusha is Karya. In the Paramatma, Karana Karya nahi hai. Akshara Purusha is called as unmanifest, avyakta. Akshara Purusha is vyakta. Paramatma is neither vyakta or avyakta. You can't talk about him in that language. So, Anyaha. Then talk little about him. What little? I'll tell you 5 things about him. 5 things I tell you. First is what? Paramatma iti udahritaha. He is loudly spoken about as Paramatma, the final self who can never become not self. He is the self of all. He never becomes self of anything. He is a Parama self. Parama is final. Like India, Parama Veera Chakra. There can be nobody greater than the one who has sacrificed his life for the country in the military awards. Therefore, such people are only given Parama Veera Chakra. Shaurya Chakra, then all of them. So Parama peak, like among all mountains, Everest or Kanchenjunga, Parama, usse upar koi nahi hai. So too, everything is Atma in this world. We call each one as Atma at different places, levels, times, situation. I explained you 100 times yesterday, day before. But when you go to the Sukshma one, that Atma becomes Anatma. Next you go, wo becomes Atma, ye Anatma banega. Finally, you reach to the inner Atma, final, which can never become Anatma. That is called Parama Atma. Atma means subject. Anatma means object. The subject of all subjects which never becomes the object. Atma is subject. Me, I. Subject object बताया ना? The knower and the known. Subject and object. Drashta and drishyam. So Parama Atma word को कैच कर लेना. Parama Atma. Beyond him there is no Atma. He alone is ultimate. In me it is there. In my delusion, I forgot that I am taking Dehendriya Manam Buddhi, which are Anatma as Atma. And that's a delusion. That's the ignorance. They are vasanas. That's what the habits. That is what samsara. That is what some suffering. That is what Janma Marana. Because of taking identity with the Upadhi. In the Paramatma, neither Janma, nor Marana, nor old age, nor disease, nothing is there because he is one without second. ओके परमात्मा बोल दिया. सेकंड वन यह लोकत्रयम आविश्य. He is permeating all 3 lokas very subtly. I told you 3 lokas are Urdhaloka Saptakam, Bhumi and Adholoka Saptakam, or Antariksha Loka, Swargaloka, Bhuloka, or Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Lokas, or Stula, Sukshma, Karana, or wherever 3 are there. Drashta, Darshana, Drishya, Karta, Karma, क्रिया, ज्ञाता ज्ञानम ज्ञेयम. इसको 3 लोक कहते हैं उसको. Anywhere 3 is there. Whole world is always made of 3 only. 3, 3, 3. Like mother, father, child. Teacher, taught and teaching. King, praja and ruling. Object, subject, contact. Smelling object, smeller and smell. Topic, talked, speaker and the talking. Karta, karma, kriya 3 कहते हैं. So, lokatrayam avishya. This परमात्मा है ना, उत्तम पुरुष हो, he is permeating all these three worlds. Lokatraya. You can talk Kala also, past, present, future. And I'm conscious of the past. I'm conscious of the present. I'm conscious of the future. So consciousness is there, permeating all three periods of time also. So Uttama Purusha, Anyaha, Parama Atma iti Udahruta. Udahat means spoken as. He is spoken as Paramatma. Lokatrayam Avishya. Then Bibharti. Vibharti means he is the one who is supporting all the three worlds. Because he is Sat Swarupa, he is giving Sat to all the things. And all these the lokas, they come and go. But he never comes and goes, nor an iota of him gets reduced. That's why he's called as Avyaya. Avyaya means remains as it is without any Vyaya, without any Ghatna ya Karchona. Like Adaya and Vyayam. Adaya means income, Vyaya means Karcha. आमदनी और खर्चा. तो ये अव्यय मतलब खर्च नहीं होते, मतलब घटते नहीं, मतलब खत्म नहीं होते. एक एक वर्ड आप समझ लेना. उत्तम पुरुष अन्य परमात्मा उदारतः लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्ति. He is the one who is supporting. Why? Because if he is not there, the other three things will not be there. And himself is avyaya. He never gets reduced. In him, all of them come and go. And finally, is being the self of all, he is the Ishvara. And with the Maya Shakti, he is the Ishvara for the Sushti Sthiti Laya of everything. That's what Uttama Purusha. More and more listen, contemplate, you will get the understanding about him. So in our example, all waves, ripples, bubbles are the Akshara Purusha. The ocean is the Akshara Purusha. The water is Uttama Purusha. The water can never be called as the oceans, nor is called as the wave. He is not conditioned by those two cause and effect relations, big and small relations. In pure water, there are no oceans or no waves. But again, oceans and waves are projected on water only. Without water, they can't be. Water can be without them. In a glass of water, it's there, but it is not there as ocean, is not there as a wave. But can the ocean be ocean without water? Can the wave be wave without water? So these called as Uttama Purusha. And for the wave, the ocean is Atma. For the ocean, water is Atma. For the water, there is no other Atma. It is self-dependent. It is independent. And don't go to H2O as I told you yesterday. Liquid form of water. उत्तम पुरुषः तो अन्यः परमात्मा इति उदाहृतः यः लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्ति. How concentrated, deep, introverted we have to become to apprehend the meaning of these words. Through that, the understanding about presence of Uttama Purusha other than Kshara and Akshara Purusha. Here also Kshara we can understand. Akshara understanding also is little tough. Kshara Sarvani Bhutani. You are opening eyes, seeing the beings. So Kshara Purusha sabko bata. But the Kutastha Akshara, who cannot be seen, but he is the cause from whom everything is getting projected. Stola Sukshma Karana. That's called a Maya. That's called a Mula Prakriti. प्रोजेक्ट हो रहा है, वापस जा रहा है. कहाँ से आ रहा है, कहाँ जा रहा है, पता ही नहीं. लाइक आई गॉट ए थॉट, सम टाइम इट स्टेड गॉन. कहाँ से आया, कहाँ गया. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मूला प्रकृति. द थॉट इज ऑफ एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग. It is in the Bija Rupa. That's called Bija Rupa, Avyakta, Avyakrita, Maya, Trunatmika, Prakriti, Pradhana. Different names are given to one thing only. That's called Akshara Purusha. Even beyond him, untouched by him, but support of both Kshara and Akshara, permeating both Kshara and Akshara. These padon ko pakadna aap log. Vedanta means pakadna in padon ko with meaning. उसी में वेदांत का बात समझ में आता है. Like, gold is permeating all ornaments, but not touched by the ornaments. Same way, Paramatma is permeating Sharakshara Purusha, but he is Avyaha. And he is Bibharti, he is supporting them. And he is the Ishvara. He being the self, everything is under his control. Uttama Purushastvanya Paramatmeti Dahruta Yo Lokatrayamavishya Vibhartyamya Ishvara. In today's introduction, what we saw, है ना, क्षर पुरुष इज ऑल अवर देहेंद्रिय मनमुंदी. अक्षर पुरुष इज अवर वासनास. उत्तम पुरुष इज अवर कॉन्शियस सेल्फ. Simple. He is Anyaha. He illuminates both vasanas, good or bad. He illuminates all the upadhis, lazy or active or very active. He illuminates them. Okay, na? When I am very lazy in my intellect, my awareness illuminates it. When I am little active, that time also I am very active, sharp, subtle, तब भी मेरा चैतन्य आत्मा इसको illuminate करता है. Isn't it? When I am very miserable, when I am quite comfortable, when I am very happy, all of these three are illuminated to the conscious self in me or not. He is the Ishvara. If the conscious is not there, you don't know in which mood you are. Even Nidra maybe we are conscious. That is why when we get up, we say we had a good sleep. Don't mistaken the consciousness to be the thought of the mind. No. In Nidra, thought is not there of anything of the world. But Nidra ko bhi ek thought bolte hain. Nidra is a smrti. So Nidra is a vritti only, panchavrittiyo mein. But the vritti of absolute darkness, ignorance. That also illuminated with the consciousness. इसलिए I don't know anything, I didn't know anything, but I enjoyed the sleep. That is what we say when we wake up. अहम किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रा अनुभूयते. I didn't know anything, but I really slept happily. How did you say, sir, when you wake up, sir? Consciousness was there, but not a thought. When you wake up, communication happens through thoughts and words. Therefore, we employ thought and word to communicate. कि मुझे ऐसा नींद लगा ना, मुझे कुछ पता ही नहीं था. चोर आ गए, सब कुछ ले गए, पता ही नहीं था मुझे. So in is also Uttama Purusha, Akshara Purusha, Kshara Purusha. For everything in the world, what you see is Kshara Purush. Uska Karana, Akshara Purush. The Karana means the Karana Sharira, unmanifest seed. But both of them are supported by the consciousness inside. It is there in the seeds also. In the seed, the whole tree is in the causal form. That's called Akshara Purusha. When that seed expresses outside as a form, tree with branches, leaves, Akshara Purusha. But within these two, there is a consciousness in the seed. Otherwise, how can it collect the water, salts, and become the sprout and all? In the atom also, there is consciousness. If consciousness were not there, how come the nucleons are inside and the electron, proton अंदर, बाहर न्यूट्रॉन है बाहर, ये सारा सिस्टम कौन चला रहा है उसको? Conscious. Every cell of the body has consciousness. Every micro thing also has got a consciousness. Atom has consciousness. Atomic consciousness. Consciousness of the atom. Atom में आत्मा है. That is called Paramatma. That's why if you say Lokatraya Mavishya, then in Lokatraya atom है ना, फिर atom में भी होना चाहिए वो. When you say तीन लोका without any exception, तो जड़ अचेतन अचरा अचरा है तीनों लोकों में, तो सब में व्याप्त है. जैसे अखंड मंडलाकारम व्याप्तम येन चराचरम. So to स्थावरम जंगमम व्याप्तम यत्किंच चराचरम तत्पदम दर्शितम. तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। क्लियर बेटा? तो ये हो गया क्षरा पुरुष, अक्षर पुरुष, उत्तम पुरुष, क्षरा पुरुष, अक्षर पुरुष, उत्तम पुरुष, है ना? केपी, एपी एंड यूपी, केपी एपी यूपी, केपी एपी यूपी। केपी मीन्स कर्नाटक प्रदेश, केरला प्रदेश, एपी आंध्र प्रदेश, यूपी मीन्स उत्तर प्रदेश। केपी एपी यूपी, केपी एपी यूपी, केपी एपी यूपी, केपी में इसलिए कर्नाटका प्रदेश में, केरला में सारा गड़बड़ी होता है कोई, और यूपी में भी आधा गड़बड़ी है। यूपी इज गुड बिकॉज ऑल टेम्पल्स आर देयर, राम जी का जन्म, कृष्ण जी का जन्म सारे उधर ही हुए उत्तर प्रदेश में। ऐसे बता रहा हूँ, उस समय ऐसा कोई डिवीजन नहीं था, एक अखंड भारत ही था। केपी एपी यूपी, क्षर पुरुष, अक्षर पुरुष, उत्तम पुरुष, बता दिया। आपकी मर्जी है, जल्दी जल्दी भूल जाओ ताकि मैं दोबारा बोल सकता हूँ, या याद रखो। Become contemplative, become deeper. Don't only be worried about gathering the outer informations which only create kama krodha, which only agitate the mind. Gather this inner, deeper knowledge about the Lord, the Self, how the whole world is projected from Him. ये है आत्मज्ञान, ये है आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान। वहाँ का सब ये मोहित ज्ञान है, कंफ्यूजिंग ज्ञान है वो सारा, मिसगाइडिंग नॉलेज। नॉलेज है ही नहीं, उसको अविद्या कहते हैं एक्चुअली। ओम आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसंपदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहं। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे रमे रमे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद् वाल्मीकि रामायणम अयोध्याकांडम शततम कच्चित् सर्गः रामचंद्र श्री रामचंद्र कृत राजनीति धर्मोपदेशः। Friends, yesterday we have seen this one. The enemies of the country, of any aspect, from within the country, you sent them. Even after sent them out of country, be careful about them. Don't take them for granted. Even though they are seeking pardon and all, they become the what you call approvers, etc. Approval. And you have given them shelter, yet don't trust them. Keep your nigrani on them all the time. Like in politics, now everybody is intelligent. Before the elections, everybody come together. Everybody means जिन जिनको पावर चाहिए, कैसे पावर मिलेगा, उसके हिसाब से आगे इकट्ठे आते. But nobody trusts other fellow. आयुषी वो कलकत्ता वाले ने बोल दिया मैं बाहर से सपोर्ट करूँ. Once the election results are over, again everything changes. Which is a way of politics है, चलता है वो. तो यहाँ कहते हैं वी हैव सीन यस्टरडे 38th मंत्र कच्चिद व्यपास्तान हितान प्रतियातांश्च सर्वदा दुर्बलान अनवज्ञाय वर्तसे रिपुसूदन. कच्चिद व्यपास्तान, व्यपास्ता मीन्स डिफीटेड, अहितान enemies to you, प्रतियातांश्च सर्वदा gone away, sent away from the nation, but again they came. When they came, don't think that they are weak, I have defeated them. Durbalan anavajnaya. Hope you are not taking them to be durbala and becoming negligent, careless. Nahi, nahi, nahi. If you do though, they will attack you and something will happen. Same thing was told 100 times by Tara to Vali. When Sugriva comes and shouts, आओ लड़ेंगे लड़ेंगे, तारा टेल्स कि तेरे को देखकर भाग के जाता है तुम्हारा भाई, कितने बार तुमने उनकी चटनी बनाया पिटाई की, तुम ही पीछे पड़ते उसके. ही इज कमिंग एंड इज ललकारिंग, challenging. Somebody must be there behind him to help. So don't underestimate. Then she actually tells, I came to know through Angada that Rama is there behind him. And he has even done promise to finish you. But the stupid fellow Vali arrogant हो गया. Nobody will defeat me. And he uses some logically justifiable things. Ki, why will Rama kill me? I have no enmity with him. But you are enemy to सुग्रीवा सुग्रीवा इज रामा's friend. तो फ्रेंड का दोस्त मेरा दोस्त, फ्रेंड का enemy मेरा enemy. दिस इज हाउ इन द वर्ल्ड. ये तो व्यावहारिक धर्म है ना. एंड इट इज a sign to रावण also. He Vali kidnapped Sugriva's wife, he is killed. You have kidnapped my wife, you will be killed. If I killed Vali, it's not difficult to kill you because Vali is one of the 6 or 5 people who have defeated Ravanasura. Kartavirya Arjuna, Vali, and 1 or 2 more are there who defeat Ravana, nobody else. One of them is Vali. ऐसे ऐसे लगा के चारों समुद्र में घूमकर हाँ बोल क्या लगा कैसा लगा रावण भाग जाता है वहां से. But she says, Tara, somebody is there, Balavan there. Then he says, after being hit, Rama, why did you hit me? Ram said, do you know that I am with Sugriva? Yeah, then why didn't you surrender to me? If you are talking the words of bhakti now, उस समय surrender करके अपनी गलती को मानने से you would have been forgiven. Even after I spoke to you through your wife that I am there here towards Sugriva, still you are not surrendered. And I will never support the dharma. I support only dharma. अवतार है भगवान तो धर्म को ही सपोर्ट करते हैं ना. Many reasons, discussions, one of them I told you. The main point is what? Hey, Bharat, any of the enemies defeated, sent them off. Whether they come for shelter or they come to attack. Don't underestimate them. Don't think they are दुर्बल और ये कि अगर मैं इसको हरा दिया. नहीं 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 नहीं. They are very dangerous. They will go on gathering strength and defeat you. Therefore, even if you are a good person, you have to have the power to rule the country. To rule the country with power, to have power, you have to be careful in protecting yourself. A part of that is never underestimate the shatrus. एक बार हरा दिया ऐसा मत सोचना. क्रिकेट में भी ऐसा होता है. मैंने इस टीम को हरा दिया अगले टाइम तुम्हारा अब देखो which are the teams in the 8th, 9th, 10th position? Who are the runners up earlier? Who are the ones who are 5 times champions? Runner and winner in the last 2 years. Then the bottom 9th position. And the 5 time winner in the 10th. Example sports में. Everywhere. अब chess में देखो. The child prodigy of Indian was जा रहा है entry तो hundreds of people taking autograph from him. कितना मजा आया था देखने. So they underestimated India. Ours have, we already had the grandmasters everywhere. So ये था कल का श्लोक. Today's is more important. कच्छिन्न लोकायतिकान ब्राह्मणान् स्तात सेवसे अनर्थ कुशला हि एते बालाः पंडितमानिनः धर्मशास्त्रेषु मुख्येषु विद्यमानेषु दुर्बुधाः बुद्धिमान् वीक्षिकीं प्राप्य निरर्थं प्रवदन्ति ते. So this श्लोक I have to talk 2 days. Here Bhagavan Rama telling Bharata, you have to serve Brahmanas. You have to respect them. You have to listen to them. But not all Brahmanas just because they are born Brahmana. Born Brahmana, you take care. The other thing. But within the people who are born as Brahmanas, their traits, their behaviors, if they are destructive to the nation, you have to protect yourself from them also. You should not listen to them. You should not punish them and kill them and all, but they should not be advisors to you. Who are the Brahmanas who are not to be trusted and taken advice? In that only, therefore, whose are the Brahmanas to whom you are to surrender? That also told. And indirectly to all Brahmanas told, you have to be like this. Then only you can guide the king. Through guiding king, you can guide the whole country. First thing a Brahmana should not have is Lokayatika. Means who is a Nastika. Born Brahmana but Nastika. In the Nastikata, He is not doing upasana, yajna, not going to temples. ये सब छोड़ दिया उसने. But threaded variety है. उनके गले में जनेऊ है, चंदन भी है. But he is लोकायतिक. लोकायतिका means नास्तिकवादिन्स. लोकायतिका. कच्चित लोकायतान ब्राह्मणान तात सेवा से. अरे जन्म तो ब्राह्मण का हुआ लेकिन वो नास्तिक है, तो डोंट डू द सेवा जस्ट बिकॉज बॉर्न एज ब्राह्मण. He will bigado you and the whole country. Next three lines tell about that. One, anartha kushalahi ete. What is that? They, with their intelligence, because they are born in a Brahmana family, use that to impose their nastikata which they have to the people, and then they make them nastik. That is how SC, ST, BCs को target करने वाले, these Christian दुष्ट राक्षसास, now they target the Brahmanas. There are some stupid Brahmanas, God converted. Now they talk low about our own Veda, Sanatana Dharma, and they talk more about that. You know that in Kerala and all kuch log, they will destroy Astikata in the people. First one. Then Balaha. They are childish because they have not gone deep into the study of Shastra. But just because born in Brahmana, they can talk logically, argumentatively. Pandita Maninaha. They think they are Panditas. And then Dharma Shastreshu Mukhyeshu Vidyamaneshu. When the Mukhya Dharma, Moksha Shastras are there, still these Durbudaha, we have not thoroughly studied or practiced because of their own vasanas, because of their own extrovertedness, etc. मन तो सबका है, मन में क्या वासना वही काम करते हैं. One may be born in Brahmana family because of other reason, but not there may be another reasons by which his mind can be nastic. Therefore, even though Dharma Shastras are there, Buddhima Anvikshikim Prapya, even though sometimes they are educated in the Anvikshika Buddhi, but Nirartham Pravadantite. They only talk about the meaningless life of negativities, etc. Identify them. Just don't look at their Chandan and Choti and the Janevu, observe them. If they are creating Nastikata, if they are creating Bhautikavada, if they are talking against our own Dharma Moksha Shastras, then just don't take them as your advisors. दूर रख देना. आस्तिक ब्राह्मण होना चाहिए. Lot more I have to talk about this. Like in Andhra and in all temple related departments, only non-Brahmanas are appointed. Therefore, they are Nastika, they don't are interested in Hinduism. All systems they destroy. The big temples like Tirupati also are disturbed. Everybody knows his open secrets. If you select such governments, what to do? इसलिए कह रहा हूँ बार बार, जो देश धर्म को प्रेम करते हैं उनको इलेक्ट करो. दूसरों को एक सीट भी नहीं होना. So that their negativities are not affecting to destroy the glorious Bharata Mata and Sanatana. My intentions are pure. Otherwise, to every being we have respect. Irrespective of caste, creed, religion, सब में भगवान है. बट उनके अंदर भगवान की जगह हैवान व्यक्त हो रहा है, तो we have to be careful. No? We have to be careful. It is in our hands again. So this is what it is. Okay, little more I talk about this. Next one we see, Bhagavan will explain to Bharata in 3 or 4 shlokas about the entire Ayodhya Nagari in the past and present, in all its aspects. Are you mindful of all of them, and are you properly protecting it or not? In that way, you have to protect the country from borders में protect करना है, internally protect करना है, proper मंत्री, proper अर्थवेत्तास, proper the दूतास you have to have, proper handling with the enemies, even Brahmanas. Every aspect of the society is taken into account and discussed here in Adhyatma, in this Ramayana, in this Kachit Sarga. Very important. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now the last and 6th Valli starts of Kathopanishad. ओम अथ श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय कठोपनिषद षष्ठी वल्ली प्रथम द्वितीय मंत्रौ. Now, in the first mantra is what we studied in 15th chapter Geetha. Urdhvamula vadashakam, the samsara vriksha which has been explained. So, Urdhvamula avakshaka eshashvatta sanatanaha. Tadeva shukram tad brahma tadeva amritamuchyate tasmin lokashita sarve tadanati. That is the Paramatma from whom this whole samsara vriksha, the ulta hai, wo sab aaya hai. That Paramatma alone is the one, eternal, immutable, birthless, changeless, deathless, and the whole worlds are supported by him, and nobody can transgress him, and whoever knows him becomes one with him. Etadvaitat. That is what you have asked Nachiketa by your question of Anyatra Dharmat, Anyatra Dharmat. In the same way, the whole world is having life and movement because of presence of him, and all of them are acting in their respective dharma and position out of fear to this Paramatma who is having the sword and gada in his hand, as if to punish the ones who don't do the things as they have to do. भगवान के डर से सूर्य चंद्र ये सारे अपने अपने काम कर रहे हैं. दैट विल कम इन टुमारो श्लोक. टुडे इज दिस टू. One is samsara vriksha, behind it is there, is eternal, immutable, birth changes this. Seeking him is the seeking ultimate, and that is what you have asked. Tatpada wahi hai. So to every one of them serve him, the wise people, knowing that if doesn't, then he will punish them. Mahatbhayam vajram udyatam. Wonderful slokas there. I'm just telling very gross subtle meaning little bit. These I have to explain to you for hours together. Very beautiful. If you get interest, then catch hold of some Mahatmas, go to them once a week, sit 1 hour and learn from them. Right? Om Ata Shashti Valli. Om Urdhamulo Avakshakah. Urdhamulo Avakshakah. Urdhamulo Avakshakah. Urdhamulo Avakshakah. Esho Shvattah Sanatanah. Esho Shvattah Sanatanah. Esho Shvattah Sanatanah. Esho Shvattah Sanatanah. Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma. Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma. Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma. तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते 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 तस्मिन् लोकाः श्रिताः सर्वे तस्मिन् लोकाः श्रिताः सर्वे तस्मिन् लोकाः श्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन तदुनात्येति कश्चन तदुनात्येति कश्चन तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वैतत् 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 एतद्वैतत्. All these shlokas etadvaitat are, as I told you, the techniques to meditate on that Paramatma in our heart. And at the last stage of meditation, we merge in him to discover him as ourselves. That's called in meditation. I realize myself to be one with Paramatma. ठीक है. ओम ऊर्ध्वमूलो वाक्षाकः एषो श्वत्थ सनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत् ऊर्ध्वमूलो वाक्षाकः एषो श्वत्थ सनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत् ऊर्ध्वमूलो वाक्षाकः एषो श्वत्थ सनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वैतत् ऊर्ध्वमूलो वाक्षाकः एषो श्वत्थ सनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वैतत्. यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं प्राण एजति निःसृतं प्राण एजति निःसृतं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति ये एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति. महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यत. ऐसे वज्रायुध पकड़ के खड़ा है, डर के मारे सब काम कर रहे हैं. Whoever knows them, him, they become one with him and eternal. यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति यदिदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं य एतद्विदुरामृतास्ते भवन्ति. टू श्लोकास इनफ. ओम ऊर्ध्वमूलो वाक्शाकः एषो श्वत्थसनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत् इदं किञ्च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रमुद्यतं य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति. टू श्लोकास पूरा 18 है, ये भी हो जाएगा. थैंक यू. ओम दुर्जन सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जन शांति माप्नुयात् शांतो मुचित बंदेभ्यः मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतंगमय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रं तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. बोल श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, गीता माता की जय, वेदव्यास भगवान की जय, रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, रामायण महाशास्त्र की जय, वाल्मीकि भगवान की जय, श्री यम धर्मराज नचिकेत भगवान की जय, श्री कठोपनिषद श्रुति माता की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, आज के आनंद की जय. नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव हर. सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तन गोविंदा गोविंद. जानकी जीवन स्मरण जय राम राम. अम्बे अम्बे श्री आदिपरा शक्ति गीता माता की जय. समस्त श्रोता भक्त साधक से उपासक जिज्ञासु धर्म संस्थापक मुमुक्षु मुक्तगण की जय. भारत माता की जय. सनातन धर्म की जय. वैदिक हिंदू संस्कृति की जय. अध्यात्म जीवन विधान की जय. समस्त युवा मंडली की जय. थैंक यू बेटा. Right. See you tomorrow.